Right, hi guys, so it's 10 to 7 in the morning, Thursday the 10th. Bags are all packed, house is sorted, and I'm about to start my journey back to Thailand. Had a little bit of sleep, so that definitely helped, but still doesn't seem real yet. I still don't believe it. Not till I set foot in Savannaphan am I gonna know I'm back in Thailand. Yeah, can't think of everything. I can't think of anything else. I think I've gone through everything. Got all my documents, got my weight limit to the max, got as much packed in as I can. Haven't left anything in the house. Just remember to take my phone off charge. Yeah, so to think you're gonna watch this video, and by the time you get to the end of this video, I'm gonna be in Thailand. Oh, is that the taxi? Is that the taxi? That's a taxi, right. Okay, on to Manchester Airport. Cheers guys, see you soon. So, after I got in a taxi, I thought it'd be a great idea to play around with the saved video settings on my camera. Ended up changing the file formats, ended up having all the video clips I made after that point corrupted. So sorry about that. But, as you can tell, I am here. There's Thailand out there, right in the heart of Bangkok. Anyway, so regardless of losing the footage, it actually wasn't the best journey to be able to film on. You know, it was pretty uptight, all these COVID restrictions. I was pretty uptight as well because all the nerves about getting the document checks right, all the rest of that, didn't really make me feel totally relaxed and ready to get the camera out and start filming the whole experience. But trip up to Manchester was fine. However, checking in at Manchester, Terminal 1, was my one big scare of the whole trip. And, well, it was totally surreal. So checking in for my Etihad flight, business class counter, it wasn't an Etihad staff member on duty, it was a Manchester Airport check-in agent on duty. And she had it in her head that my COE, my certificate of entry, had to have been issued in the last 72 hours, which is not true. It's your COVID test and your fit to fly, which had to be issued in 72 hours. Anyway, she was not for believing a word I was saying about how wrong she was. I could see the piece of paper, the directive for someone traveling to Thailand, and I could see how she'd read it. She'd read it wrong, like grammatically incorrect. It had said 72 hours for COVID tests and fit to fly, and the next document then listed was COE. I mean, yeah, she was just wrong. Obviously, I was the first person going onward to Thailand that she dealt with, but I couldn't get through to her. I couldn't explain to her that she was wrong from just a normal point of view, that COEs don't have to be 72 hours old. And I couldn't get through to her that she couldn't even read her piece of paper right. It got to the point where she'd handed back my documents and was just expecting me to leave the airport. It was so frustrating. Anyway, she wouldn't get a manager for me. She wouldn't go and consult anyone else. Luckily, I was kicking off enough that the agent next to her intervened, and after a couple of words in her ear, put her right. But no apology from her whatsoever. Treated me pretty much like dirt after that. And yeah, but I got checked in. But it was a totally unbelievable experience that she wouldn't listen to me, how wrong she was, she couldn't read properly, and then the general lack of empathy and the quality of the customer service after that. Bearing in mind I was a business class customer. I mean, not that I'm saying I should be getting special privileges on that, but I mean, come on, just in general, yeah. Well, luckily that was my only scare of the whole trip. After that, got through security, enjoyed the lounge. First flight was great. The Etihad onboard staff on both flights were amazing. A great experience. Both flights were about half full, so it made the business class cabin especially quiet. The onboard service, the meal service, was a reduced menu, but delivered perfectly. Everything was really tasty. And yeah, I can't say again how great the staff were in, looking after everyone in these COVID times. A great thing about Etihad as well is everyone has to have a test in order to take a flight, because Thai nationals that come to Thailand aren't required to show a COVID test, and some carriers don't require everyone to have a COVID test, but Etihad requires everyone to have a COVID test to get on board. So that's like an extra level of protection as well. Yep, after the first flight into Abu Dhabi was dead compared to like what it normally is. Getting on to the second flight, this was the second time when we had to produce all our documents again at the gate. Again, that flight was great. And then it was the big thing then, arriving at Suvarnabhumi in Bangkok. Going through the process of getting out the other end, getting to this ASQ hotel. I mean, I've read so many stories of people saying it's easy, other people saying it takes hours. I didn't know what to expect. But honestly, it couldn't have gone any better. Because I think we were business class, we were first off the plane. We must have been the only plane arriving at that time because there were no other people waiting in the queues and queues of seating up the terminal. So I was right to the front, dealt with straight away to go through my documents for the first time. In total, we went through our documents 3 times before the final 4th time was at the passport control. Each time they looked at all of them, but a little bit more specifically on certain documents. So originally they were quite interested in your TM8, which is an immigration form. Then they were really interested in your COVID insurance. At all times, they were interested in your boarding cards. And for me being an elite card member, they were interested in seeing my elite membership letter because I don't have an elite card yet. At the 3rd checkpoint, passport control was great. It's amazing to see a 12-month stamp in my passport for the first time rather than normal 60-day tourist stamps. So that's great. My bags came straight out. They give you a little badge when they see what ASQ hotel you're in at the beginning, at the 1st checkpoint. So when you filed out of the airport, there's all the staff out there, take your badge off you and they know exactly where to send you. My BMW 5 Series for a private transfer was ready, whisked me away. Yeah, the whole process for me was simple. I don't think you can go wrong. If you prepare properly, make sure you have all the documents. For your own peace of mind, take extra documents that no one's asking you for, and then you know you can't go wrong. Honestly, the staff were great in the airport, and there were so many of them. They got it well tuned. They know exactly what they're doing, and fair play to them. You know, people are criticising the process, but I mean, just look at what's happening here in regards to COVID. I mean, it's a success story. It's great. Anyway, so after that, in the car coming to the hotel, took about half an hour or so, which was really good because the motorways are really quiet now. Did my menu for the next 2 weeks in the car. Completely forgot what I'd chosen, but at least I know I've picked things I like. So each meal service is a surprise. That's pretty cool. Got here, had my first temperature check, spoke to a nurse, checked into the room, and here I am. Now is day 3 because I've been suffering with a bit of jet lag the last couple of days. So today's the first day I feel like 100%. And yeah, so this is day 3, another day in here tomorrow, and then on day 5 I actually get to go out at the door to go and have a COVID test. And then I think once that comes back, negative, I'm allowed to go and have some time, an hour a day in a relaxation area. So that'll be nice just to get out of the room again. And also my room gets to be cleaned. So that'll be handy. But yeah, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about the room and quarantine and ASQ and all that because I've got 2 weeks here. So at least let me make a video about something else. But I'll just give you a little view. It's a bit smoggy today, but we're on the 32nd floor and it's an amazing view. And there is the King Power Tower, looking pretty mighty today. But yeah, so you can never get bored looking out the window. Right, anyway, that was my story. Sorry about I lost all the footage, but it wasn't the best of footage anyway because it was such a stressful journey. 24 hours door to door. I did it, I made it. 2 weeks here, I'm off with Kim. Awesome. Right, cheers guys.